Hello again, okay, here in this video. I've got a video here I'm going to show you here in a little bit, okay? Has to do with the internet too. Of course, they're not going to tell you it's for internet too, okay? No. See, I got a friend up in Boston, Massachusetts, yeah, that just happened to find out that he's being charged, well, he's only allowed so much bandwidth. That's right, he's only allowed so much bandwidth on the internet. And he got a call and they were told that if they went over their bandwidth again, that they were going to shut their internet off. Okay? Because he didn't know he had a limit on bandwidth, but he has a limit on bandwidth. Okay? And this news report I'm going to show you talks about this. Okay? Let me say a few things about this. Okay? For one, this is the first step for Internet 2. And that's no lie. It's the first step for Internet 2. For two, yeah, this is gonna go global all over the United States. You watch it. It's gonna go all over the United States within a year or so. It's not happening all over right now, but it will be. Okay? For three, yeah, they're gonna tell you that you're allowed a good amount of bandwidth or whatever, and they're gonna force it down your throat, and you're gonna accept it, and then they're gonna tell you if you go over that amount, we're either gonna shut you off, or we're gonna charge you more money. And that's the way it'll start off. That's right, because things always start that way. They start slow, and then as time goes by, it progresses. We keep adding to it and adding to it. But in this situation, what it'll do is it'll just keep shrinking the amount of bandwidth you're allowed. That's right. They'll shrink the amount you're allowed, and then they'll fucking add fees to anything over. And it'll become like calling a long-distance phone call on your old home line and talking for hours costed you up the ass. It'll become to where you cannot afford it no more. Because what you don't understand is when you open up your browser and you click on Yahoo and you open up Yahoo, okay? All the graphics, all the words, everything that comes up in front of you on your screen, that's considered a download. When you go on YouTube, even if you don't download the video, if you watch the video, that's considered a download. If you go from this browser to that browser to this browser to that browser, it has to load all the graphics. Now, sure, you have cookies in your computer, it stores, so therefore, the next time you go there, it's going to open it right up for you. But for all the sites you've never visited in your life, it has to load all the graphics, and each time you do that, that's considered a download. That uses bandwidth. Every video you watch uses bandwidth. Do you catch what I'm saying? Everywhere you go is using bandwidth. It's going to come to the point that you're not going to be able to afford to have the internet, and that's exactly what they want. They don't want you online. They want to censor the internet. They're going to make it hard on you. They took your jobs out of here, and they know you can't afford it because they took your jobs from you. And then they do this. But that's because this is the very beginning of Internet 2 that we've been telling you about for a long time now. Lots of people have been telling people about Internet 2 for a long time, but nobody believes it. Well, here it is. It's just now begun. The conspiracy theory is beginning. It's sort of like the jobs, you know. A year and a half before they went out the door. Just from reading the reports I was reading, I knew the jobs was going out the door, and everybody said you were freaking nuts. It's a conspiracy theory. And now we got, what, almost 3 million people fucking unemployed in the United States because it's a conspiracy theory. See, that's what makes me sick. You ain't got enough common sense in your fucking heads when somebody's showing you this stuff, to, even if you don't believe it, to take some time out of your busy life and go look and read. And even if you don't believe it, look and read and sit on a fucking fence and shut your mouth and don't make an opinion and watch and see what's going on in society and your government and the TV after you've read a report that they're not showing on the news, and keep watching. Give it 6 months, a year or so, and keep watching and remember it and see if it don't pop up. If it don't pop up and never materializes within a year or 2 years, then you can say that's a conspiracy theory. But when it happens, it's no longer a conspiracy theory. It means somebody knew something they told you the truth about before it could happen to try to warn you to step up against it, and you chose to turn your back and look the other way because you heard the words conspiracy theory. So just remember, the 3 million people, the fucker or so that's unemployed right now, that's just a conspiracy theory, okay? 9/11 was a conspiracy theory because it never happened. Okay, the war we're in right now, that's just a conspiracy theory. It's not happening. And our jobs being gone, that's a conspiracy theory too. All of our jobs are still here. What's wrong with you people? No, it ain't what's wrong with you people. What's wrong with you people for not having enough common sense in your fucking head to fucking go do a little bit of looking for yourself and sit on a fucking fence and not make an opinion about nothing and watch society and see if the stuff plays out. That's how easy it is to find out if something's a conspiracy theory or not. But most of you won't do that. The first thing you gotta do is assume and open big mouth and stick size 25 foot in your mouth. Anyhow, watch this report, leave your comments and opinions. The next video, you'll have a good one.
This next story reaches into the homes of so many Canadians. Surfing and downloading from the internet are about to get more expensive. Some providers have announced they'll soon charge new fees and impose new caps on usage. As Lynn Robson reports, the companies want to cash in on the growing demand for online movies.
Brody Murphin considers the internet a necessity. It's how he studies, socializes, everything. He uses at least 100 gigabytes a month and pays $57. Now Shaw, his internet provider, is essentially doubling the cost of his internet access.
I wrote a letter to my MP about this because I feel that this sort of change will be really quite bad.
It's part of a trend that started a few years ago with internet providers reducing bandwidth. That's the amount of data customers can download or stream. So at the same time as we have more content available than ever before, bandwidths are shrinking and an increasing number of people are exceeding their data plans and being charged extra fees.
A few years ago, it was 2% of the population, but then it became 5% of the population. Now it's closing in on perhaps 10% of the population.
Tech expert Hugh Thompson says the numbers will continue to rise as our appetite for internet services increases.
Yeah, I have 2 young teenagers, music videos from YouTube, YouTube videos, maybe an Apple iTunes movie. For example, my downloading last month was about 44 gigabytes.
So your bill's going up.
My bill is definitely going to go up. Sports and all the different Fox.
Thompson's provider is Primus, one of a dozen small companies that buys bandwidth from Bell and resells it.
We're being forced to carry those costs, and we're passing them through to the consumer.
But Bell says the money is used to maintain its system. Now, Brody Murphin is fighting back. He and thousands of others have signed an online petition demanding the prices be lowered.